Hey everyone, welcome back to the Craft Beer Voyager Show. I'm your host, Michael Thacker, the Craft Beer Voyager. It's been a little while since I've done a video, but I'm trying to kind of get back into it with all the COVID-19 chaos that has erupted throughout the country and the world. So today I am going to do something a little different. I'm going to review a beer, but first I'm going to be cooking with that beer. And it's going to be Cowboy Queso with ground beef, Velveeta cheese, black beans, a little bit of spice and seasoning thrown in there, and yeah, it's gonna be good. So follow me, let's get her done. All right, so the ingredients tonight for the Cowboy Queso is olive oil, 96% lean beef, that'll be a half a pound of it, and then 2% Velveeta cheese. Watch those calories. I drink enough beer to make up for it. Chili pepper flakes, 4 cheese Mexican cheese, black beans, and tonight's beer is from Acre Brewing Company out of Fort Worth, Texas, Mango Hatch Chili IPA, 6.5%. And it kind of has a nice little spicy roasted kick to it. That kind of blends really well, should blend really well with the Cowboy Queso. So cook up about a half a pound of the ground beef. You can use any other meat if you like, and get it browned up, and then we'll go ahead and move on to the next ingredient. So after getting the ground beef all browned up and drain the excess grease out of there, you can go ahead and add your beer. Now it calls for anywhere from a half a cup to a 3/4 cup of the beer, but it also depends on flavor and style. So keep that in mind. Some can be more potent than others, so a little less or a little more depending on what it is. I'm just going to pour this damn stuff in there. Just don't worry about it. All right, and then you let it simmer for about 4 to 5 minutes, stirring occasionally. So after you simmer for about 4 to 5 minutes, and allow that beer to really soak into the meat, go ahead and add your 1-inch cubes of 16 ounces total of Velveeta cheese, as well as a half a cup of shredded cheese. Don't be too precise on measurements. Remember, you're cooking Cowboy Queso. So just think about what would John Wayne do if he was cutting up the cheese. And so then you want to turn it back up to medium heat off of the simmering and allow it to really melt in and stir. And then you'll add your black beans after that. Also, once it begins to melt, go ahead and add some different seasoning that you would like to add. I like to add the Mexican fajita, taco fajita seasoning stuff. I'll actually get that here in a second. So yeah, the extra fancy Southwest style fajita seasoning, as well as some cayenne pepper to really give it a solid kick, so it'll make life a lot better, especially next morning as it's coming out. So you want to stir it up as you're going along and allow it to really melt in, be delicious. And obviously, in due process, you want to be sipping on your beer. Cheers. But while I'm at it, while we're here, I might as well give you a short story while we're cooking. And I might as well do it in correlation with kids and being a father. How interesting it is being a father for all those that are fathers out there. It's like beer really kind of becomes your friend, your companion on the weekend times. And it helps smooth things out for the most part, especially now with COVID going on. But it is very fascinating for me. We had a girl and then we had a boy. And with the girl, she was very subtle, easygoing. Things were fairly laid back. She loved daddy. We would have movie days and hang out on Saturdays, and I would have beer, and it was just a fun, good old time. And she was pretty tranquil. Then my son came along, and the only word that I could really sum up his personality was spawn, because that's the way he acted and still acts. And he's finally getting a little bit more independent. He's about 2.5 at this particular moment in time, but he's still rather chaotic. And of course, to help kind of cover up my own butt, so to speak, I like to always blame it on my wife. Yeah, he gets that from his mother. And it really helps kind of, some people believe me. They're like, oh, so she's rather chaotic. I'm like, she's out of flipping control. Although I'm not gonna lie, she's pretty subtle. And I tend to dwell on the fringes of chaos from time to time myself. Like, I feel like I'm matured a little bit over time. So, to really talk about a story as far as chaos in regards to my son and being a father, entering that fatherhood, really delving into it as they get older. Just the other day, I go to get gas for my truck, and I put the card in, select the deal, and get the hose, and I go to open up the outer cap. There is no inner cap on the Ford trucks. For those of you that know, the modern gas caps only have a cap. It's just open deal. And after I open the main cap there is gravel, loads of gravel inside of the cap. I can't even, and I dig it out, but I can only dig about maybe 60% total. And I can't get far enough in to get it all out. So then I have to jam the nozzle in there because I was empty, literally. And so now I have pebbles inside my gas tank, which, signals nothing but trouble ultimately. And I'm not necessarily a mechanic, especially a car mechanic, but I'm like, this can't be good. And that was my son. That's what he did, to have fun. And I was like, man, I've officially, truly entered into fatherhood. So those of you who understand and are there with me, all I can say to you at this moment in time is cheers. For those of you that haven't entered into it and are about to, all I can do for you is laugh and cry at the same time and say good luck. So let's continue cooking here. So I went ahead and added the seasonings. Now I'm going to add a few black beans in there. It calls for approximately like 1 cup, but yeah, you can just make your own adjustments there and blend it in. And something happened to Paw Patrol, so nothing good's gonna come from this. Okay, son, I hear you. I'll get Paw Patrol going here in a second. Just give me like 30 seconds. So yeah, blend it up in there real good and make sure your children have Paw Patrol or their favorite show on. So here's the final product with some chili pepper flakes on top. And then I'm pairing it up with some Ruffles Simply Sea Salted. Okay, so you can hear the Paw Patrol over there. And now we're gonna go ahead and bust this boy open. Give it a whirl. Cloudy. Looks like a big glass of mango juice. When you smell it, you definitely smell the hints of the hatch peppers. There's kind of a roasty scent to it. Oh man, it's like being at the Mexican restaurant. You just smell those sizzling hot peppers off your fajita plate, with just a touch of sweetness in there from the mangoes. Moderately bitter, but not like, it's not too much. It has like a hazy, subtle bitterness to it that I really like. It's real drinkable. And but yeah, you can taste the hatch chili peppers in there. And the mango is balanced by slight mango sweetness, but there's not a whole lot of sweetness in this. A very good balanced body to it. Like, it's not too much. The haziness kind of lightens the load, so it doesn't make it too overpowering whenever you're drinking it and eating food. And like, you can have a few of these without feeling too much of the weight of the beer itself. But really, at the latter end of the summer, this is actually a perfect beer for this time because it has some of the like summer beer characteristics mixed in with the fall beer characteristics. Like I could see actually even drinking this as fall time comes around, you know, that lighter air feel around you added with this and maybe even cooking a little bit out on the grill. I mean, this actually would pair up great. So now I'm gonna go ahead and see what we can, how this is gonna pair out and how this even turned out, because I have no idea, I didn't check. Now I added the red chili pepper flakes after the fact because I know my family's gonna eat this here shortly, the kids. The last thing I need is chili pepper flakes. And changing a pull up after them eating something like that, I'm out. Sounds horrible. So, pretty good. I could have added a little bit more beer in there, I think. And that would have made it taste even better. And see, with this heavy cheese, with the cheese and stuff, this helps cleanse your palates every single time. And it has that kind of juiciness to it. So it really counteracts some of the bold flavors of the queso itself, as well as the cheesiness and the spiciness. Kind of just, it's perfect balance. This is great. So remember, Hatch Chili Pepper Mango IPA from Wild Acre Brewing. Make yourself a good skillet full of Cowboy queso and just sit back and relax and allow your dogs to come up and eat your food right out of your hand and eat out of your bowl. It's wonderful. Nothing like having dogs and kids. It teaches you a little bit about responsibility. Let me tell you about something about responsibility. No, we'll save that for next time. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. Cheers. No, you don't need any. Yeah.